Hi everybody, Bill Black here at Spirit River. Today I want to tie for you one of our new UV2 Parachute Adams. Parachute Adams is a very popular fly, very effective, and we're going to do one with our new UV2 materials. Let me tell you a little bit about the new UV2 materials. Here's a pack of the new dubbing. This is the packaging you're going to see in the stores. And what it is a proprietary method that we've got to dye things, both UVF and UVR. So one's fluorescent, one's reflective. And the UVR is very common in Mother Nature, but not really discernible with the human eye. Kind of like a dog whistle. You blow in the dog whistle, he can hear it and you can't. It's that sort of thing. There's a lot more science to it. Go to our website and you can read all about it. I'm going to ask TJ to put that up in the next few days. It should be around for years to come. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for supporting Spirit River. Sorry we've been away for a while. This parachute's going to be a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to use our UV2 turkey biot for a wing rather than calf tail. The reason I like that, it's highly UVR, UV reflective, and in addition it's much lighter than calf tail. It's fairly inexpensive, and yet it's still a feather. So it's kind of nice, very nice material to work with. You can see we've got gray and we've got the white. The gray works great on all your PMDs. It's a great winging material. So we're going to start with a hook in the vise. I like on a lot of UV2 flies to use a pearl underneath the bodies, but I also like to use white thread, because if there's any light that gets through into the base of the fly, it's going to reflect back out, and you want those multiple wavelengths. So we're going to go back about 25 or 30%. We're going to take a piece of turkey, and you want to keep that turkey, you want the wing to stay all the same length, or I mean be nice and even. Duh. And so when what you have to do there is you have to kind of cut it out, and you're going to come out with a nice flat little turkey wing like this. Again, I'm going to measure that to be the length of the shank of the hook. I'm going to add a little more to it. This is a pretty big fly. This is a size 12 hook, and I do that for this demonstration. And so I'm going to add to the turkey. This is a turkey wing flat. You've probably seen these in feather dusters. Pretty common. And we're UV2ing them now. So what I'm going to do is lift that up and see if, yeah, there we go. It's going to give me a really nice strong wing. So I'm going to munch down that stuff behind there, that kind of little mess I made. I'm going to go ahead and take one of these gorgeous whiting necks. This time I'm going to use a brown, and my goal here is to come out with a nice flat, even tail. And it looks like I did it. Trim off some of that rough stuff at the base. Let's see if it's long enough. Ooh, perfect. That might be a little long. I'm going to back up a little. If you really do this right, this nasty part back here that's tied down, you want to tie that down. It should match up with your turkey flat there, and I almost got it. I'm going to have a little bit of a lump in my body, which isn't really unusual if you take a look at me. Alright, so now I got a nice tight little tail. I'm going to do an Eric strop on this one, and I'm going to flare it a little bit. We're going to do that on all of these new parachutes we're doing. He showed me how you can take a normal standard dry fly and then take one with a flared tail, a tail that's been spread. You drop them into a glass of water, and almost immediately the standard dry fly just goes right up like that. The tail sinks, the hook sinks. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. the tail sinks, and if you flare it like that, it takes much longer to break the surface film. It really makes sense. I don't know why more people don't do that. We're going to start doing that. So anyway, I've got my dubbing, and more importantly, I'm going to start with some Crystal Splash. I'm going to create an underbody of Crystal Splash, and I'm going to tie that in. I'm going to leave my thread in the back here, because that's where I'm going to grab my dubbing and bring it up. Now when I dub, I'm going to also dub fairly fine. Personally, I like the looks of having that little pearl flash in there. Right back here to the back. Gosh, I got up the front and I thought, where's my thread? Oh, I forgot I left it in the back, right where it was supposed to be. Duh. Alright, now we're going to take a little bit of Adams gray, which is right here. This is Multispectrum Uv2 Dubbing. And multispectrums means we've taken 4 or 5 primary colors like red, pink, blue, green, yellow, and we've UVR'd them and we've UVF'd them. We mix those two in a ball that's 100% UV, and we mix a certain percentage of that into our dubbing, and it comes out in a multi-spectrum, and it kicks out lots of different wavelengths. And again, this fine and dry, you can make it just so fine. Need to add just a little bit more of the fine and dry. Need to go right up underneath that wing, at which point we're going to take some hackles here. Okay, so I've got enhanced, UV enhanced whiting hackles. I'm tickled pink that we're able to do this on these hackles. I might want to tie this fly again when I get more time, simply because it looks a little big and bulky, and I don't like big and bulky. I wished I hadn't broke my thread on it, but if you want to change your thorax to a slightly different color, now's the time. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this Adams gray, fine and dry. Now, what I've done there is, I can show you better. I've gone ahead and tied those hackles in, and the stem of the hackles went actually right in front of the wing. Then I went back and put a little more dubbing on, and I took a couple wraps behind that wing and a couple in front. So if you look at this fly from underneath, it's nice and smooth. Well, as smooth as it's going to get today, but anyway. So everything turns a little different when you're on video. I'm going to wrap this around. I'm going to hold this turkey flat just a little bit. I'm going to go around about six or 8 times. And the idea too, if you can, flare that a little bit, is to try to keep each wrap under the next wrap. And what that does, it kind of drives all that hackle right up there. This is the hard part. Well, it's not the hard part, but the trick part is now I've got all that held with this one hand. I take this hand and I pull it all back, and then I take my bobbin and I'll go around and I'll trap those hackles. You only need to do it a couple times. Now I can nicely go in there and trim those hackles back out and save them for the next fly. Again, I'm going to lift that and make sure it's nice and clean. And I'm going to go back just a little ways because I want to make sure those hackles are tied down really well. You don't want those coming undone. So can actually do a whip finish on this too if I wanted. See how I pulled all that back and exposed it? Now's my chance to, again, I'm going to take a little bit of super glue. I put it on a little top of a little bag, which I just put a drop on the bag. Then I take my bodkin. It's been used a lot lately, and I dip that into the super glue, and then I can go in and really be precise right where I want it. The other thing I like to do is I always like to take my super glue and put a little drop on a couple different spots on the inside of the wing there. It really helps to firm that wing up, and it keeps that hackle in place. That's going to dry nicely. Got a little wowie in my turkey there. But anyway, there you go. There's a UV2 Adams parachute. It's got a pearl crystal splash base to it. You can use silver or just use white thread if you want. I've got a turkey flat wing that's been enhanced, UV enhanced as well, and I've flared the tail. So anyway, I suggest you tie a few of these. It's a little different take on an Adams parachute that you've probably tied a million of. You might like the way it fishes a little bit better. Again, Bill Black, Spirit River, along with my cameraman TJ. He's my webmaster. If you have any questions, be sure to email us. We love you all. Thanks for supporting us. Buy UV2 products. Thanks.